Alright, hi everybody. My name is Jesua Bones. That's my artist name. My real name is Jesua Ramos. And as a artist, I just love drawing and stuff like that. I've always been into art and drawing. It's always been an outlet of mine, favorite outlet of mine, and it's awesome. I remember maybe last year I started making an Instagram account on just my art separately, and this was around late November when I had gotten when Miss 3, one of the co-owners of the art gallery, of the Heart of Art Gallery, she got in touch with me and started sending me a message. She was like, "Would you want to do a show with us? I love your art." It was already overwhelming. I was like, "Oh shit, like somebody actually likes my art," you know? It was pretty crazy and like surreal. I want to say surreal because I didn't actually think my art could go somewhere. Not that I wanted it to, but you know, when you're growing up, especially with like Latin families, it's always like art is not the answer. Art won't get you shit. Art won't get you anywhere. And I hated that because there's a lot of doubt running in my family. And I didn't allow that to get to me, so I just did it, and I was like, it was my way of saying fuck you, like whenever I would draw, you know. So I love that I kept that going on, and that somebody saw that inside, and that was Mystery, who like got to reach out and said, you know, come over, I love it, and let's do it. I started doing my first show with them in December. I was very, very nervous and stuff. I was very hesitant. It's funny the way I met Heart of Art Gallery. I was still hesitant because I was still like nervous and shy. I was still dealing with anxiety issues at the time as well. So it was very hard being around people already. And then, you know, slowly, you know, Kenya would help me so much with encouraging me to just be in front of the microphone and telling me like, you know, you can do this, you got this, and that helped so much. I swear, I think the first event that we did together was Creatures of the Night, and after that was definitely like a night that proved to myself that I can definitely do more than just like be alone in my room and just draw. I have a voice, you know. And that voice allowed me to literally break out and break free from a lot of the stuff that I used to trap myself into. And honestly, the encouragement and all that just sparked something in me and fueled something that I'm not just an artist, I have a fucking voice. And it's awesome because that's what our community is surrounded by, I've noticed. It's by silence. It's surrounded by silence and things that just go very well, just very much unsaid. And I'm just like, I'm not ready to see that ever happen. So they became, you know, I started becoming an art healer myself, as Mystery and Kenya are. And it's beautiful because tagging along with them, I really felt like I was with them. I really felt like home, a different way, you know. Not that, you know, family isn't always something you can rely on when you have different spiritual beliefs from them, but when you have people that you connect with spiritually and, you know, art as well, and bring people together in that format, it creates a beautiful thing. And the relationship I have with them and all of them, it's just beautiful because it's taught me to love myself as well. I used to have very terrible anxiety issues, and like self-hate was a big thing, and it's just like, damn, like that's really fucking, that's not right. It really wasn't. It was very unhealthy. I had also met them in a very vulnerable place in my life as well, and it was awesome for them to literally pick out my wings and just say like, you got this shit. And honestly, I can say at this point, like, I'm very happy, and it's the reason why I continue doing shows with the Heart of Art Gallery, and it was because of that lift that they gave me that I didn't know I had within myself. I wouldn't have been able to get that out of myself if it weren't for Kenya and Mystery. I wouldn't have been able to go inside myself and reach out and say, like, see what I have become and what I'm doing right now in this moment. It's very magical, and what better than to do it in a DIY situation, which is what I'm all about. I love the do-it-yourself situation because you don't have rules restricting you as an artist. I feel like that's I feel like that's very common in a lot of places that you go to. It's very restricted, and it's just like, no, there's too many boundaries for an artist. That's very cruel to have boundaries as an artist. So it's like, fuck that. I might as well do it myself. And it allowed me to just feel that even more. And honestly, dude, like, I wouldn't have been here if it weren't for them too. And I wouldn't even be pursuing the things I'm doing right now. You know, that encouragement itself just fueled a flame that I know it's going to go for a long time. Just as long time that Heart of Art is going to keep going. You know, I could say, and you know, it's kind of like fucked up what happened or whatever, but I mean, that's not gonna fucking put us to sleep. No, like, dude, like, we've been here too fucking long. We worked our asses out to put on a fucking show all the time, and it's just like, that's not gonna stop, you know. And I just want to give a big thanks to like the Heart of Art Gallery family that's always been there for me, you know, and definitely been there as a healing thing. And I don't know if they've seen it, and I didn't care if they didn't see it or not. It was for me personally. It was kind of my getaway from home and stuff, which is good because, I mean, fuck. So that's how most kids get into trouble, when they don't have like families that are like stable enough to support what they want to do. You know, the youth start looking for trouble because they're like, yeah, fuck that, my family's fucked up, I'm gonna go do fucked up shit. And it's like, you don't have to do that, dude. Like, you really don't. And I think that's the just one of the many messages that we're spreading. And I love that, because when we see like youth coming in, I'm just like, dude, I know exactly what you're going through, you know. I used to be very suicidal, and it was just like fucking dumb looking at it now. And like, I'm ready to tell these kids, like, dude, like, you don't have to go that route. You really don't. You could actually change it upside down. You could actually change that shit, you know. It's the reason why we sleep, because the next day you're able to make a new day out of that shit, you know. And that's why, like, I feel places like these are very important, you know, especially helping our LGBT community. It's, you know, a lot of the LGBT community is very, it's, the light on it is very much media, you know, and that's not really fair, because it's not everything about the LGBT community. You know, there's still stuff that happens personally. There's still kids that are in the closet. There's still kids that get kicked out of their homes. There's still kids that are left in the fucking street just because they come out as trans. And it's just like, you know what, like, that's what this place provided for to begin with, to be like, you have a fucking home and an outlet. What we can do as healers is tell you to come through art, because art is honestly like, well, for me personally, art has been the ultimate healer. I can't see no different from anybody doing it otherwise. I've seen it musically, I've seen it drawing, I've seen it even just through open mic, open spoken word, you know. I've met a lot of talented artists coming through here, and it's amazing for them to share their stories and stuff, because it's definitely, I can see that it sparked, you know, it sparked a flame in their inspiration, you know, their thirst for inspiration. And I hope that we can continue spreading the message, because these kids need to know they're not alone, you know, and these suicides need to fucking stop. It's ridiculous. It just is. When we could all just come together and make a movement, and let's do it.
What were your interactions with people when you were talking to them, your experience here? Because I know you spoke with a lot of people in the community during events.
I would get to know them first. A lot of them were very, very shy. So I had to, like, you know, I would see that they may have been shaky sometimes, and it was like looking at a little version of me, you know. I was like, oh my god, this is like, it's kind of a cute moment, you know, because you're like, oh my god, like, they really do look up to you. I never thought it'd be something somebody can look up to. I still don't, and I'm not a role model. But it's beautiful to see that they at least have somebody to say and speak up to them and help encourage them, period. Just that encouragement itself, like, I could see how much it's changed them. And then when they would come back to the gallery, I would just encourage them to keep doing their stuff. And they would tell me a lot of times their problems. And I would just be like, you know what, whenever this is happening, whenever the darkness happens, whatever you're feeling, always look through art. Always look through art. Either it's writing, write out your problems, draw out your problems, because you can be your own solver as well, you know. And when you want to shine a light on that, we're here for you regardless, you know. And I think that's what I loved also, because after whatever they were going through and they'd come here, they'd feel free enough to express themselves without judgment through art, whether they're costume, whether they're open mic. That was their outlet, and we continued to free them. We were watching them grow as we continued doing shows as well. I saw people grow. I was growing with them. It's a beautiful thing, really. It's human interaction in its finest. What we can do as people together. It's what we can do together is unlimited and beyond fucking belief, you know. And that's amazing, because just get a group of artists and we're capable of doing anything. And that's definitely one of the flames that like sparked me and shit. Yeah. My favorite part of the gallery is probably how free you can be. How everybody feels comfortable. Nobody feels like they're being judged every time you walk in. And they're not supposed to, you know, we made that clear to them to begin with. We really want them to be themselves, you know? Because the entire time I was here, I was being myself, and I think that's a good thing. It's a good feeling, you know. We need to, that encouragement itself, just how give off that energy of being yourself, and that encouraging energy allows other people to follow up to that. It's contagious, and it's a good thing, you know, because that's what it's all about. It's all the love. It's all the love that you just keep wanting to spread and just keep encouraging them. There's no reason to doubt people. There's no reason to bash people. Like, there isn't a fucking reason to do so. I feel like there's so much hate out there. Hate is a waste of energy, period. Hate is the reason why there's a lot of stuff in the media. Hate is behind a lot of stuff in the media. And I feel like what we did here was completely out of love. I mean, here I am surrounded by the aesthetics of like Miss 3, which is like somebody I strongly admire. Definitely one of my biggest inspirations in my waking life. And I'm glad and honored to say that I work beside her, as well as with Kenya, because these are strong women, and I've learned to appreciate women because my mom also forced that upon me. She was always like, you better appreciate women, you came out of a vagina. And like, it's true, like, fuck, dude, like, it's the reason why I love this too. It's like a feminist forefront, you know? And like, I'm definitely all for that shit. Like, that's the reason why I'm still doing here shit, you know? I'm gay as fuck, so I'm gonna be doing all kinds of gay shit, like, you know? Like, it's fucking cool. It's liberating. That's the best feeling about here. That's what I love about it. It's liberating. That feeling of liberation, not being like, you know, restrained, not being tied down. It's an awesome fucking feeling. Just being free, being yourself. That is the most amazing feeling ever, honestly. I can't describe it because it's just a feeling. And that's what these women help bring out the best in me. And I love that my feminine energy it's just there. I love it. I embrace it. And I could tell when people struggle with it, and I want to help those people. Be like, yo, like, take it, like, whatever, you know.
And then 2 more questions. Tell us the first time you met, how you got exposed to the gallery, like the first time you met Belle. And then the second question is, describe Belle in your own words.
All right.
You know? Go for it.
So the first time I met Belle, she was like, let's meet up at Old Barra Street. It's a little placita right in front of like Union Station, for those of you not from LA. So it's a cute little like Plaza, and like we met right there, and I was like nervous as shit, you know. I was nervous already. I was like, yo, like this is my first gallery ever meetup. This is crazy and weird. And then you know, and this is me like where I was filled with doubt still, you know. I don't doubt myself anymore. But it was just crazy and funny. And then here she comes with she comes out with like big ass boots and like crazy eyeliner, and like she's coming walking in with Enzo, and I'm like, oh my god, they look fucking cool. Like I love it, you know. So we sit down, we have a chat, we go to a little store, and we instantly click. That is so rare, and like it's very rare for me to click with people, because most people kind of have already like their own kind of like, you know, or most people can be closed off. She was completely open, like just everything, and like it was, I want to say it was like love at first sight in a different perspective. It was like that love for the art, you could see it in their eyes kind of stuff. It's the reason why I loved her aesthetic to begin with. And I was just like, this is a fucking shit. Like this badass running a gallery. You never see people dressed up like that running a gallery, which is so important. I feel like if you are gonna own a gallery, you might as well look the part of it. And professionalism, yeah, I get it. You know, wear a fucking suit and tie. I mean, it's good once in a while, I guess. You know, don't get me wrong. But it's awesome to see that somebody's like out of this world, dressed up out of this world, and embraces that. And when I saw that shit, I was just immediately like, I didn't feel as restricted. I didn't feel as tied up as I used to. You know, and it was awesome to be around that energy, because it definitely brought like memories of like me in high school when I was just dressed up and go to high school. And I love dressing up in high school. It's the only reason why I went to school, honestly, sometimes, because I would just dress up. I was like, fuck this work, like I better look good for this class. And that's what got me to go to school. It was that bravery of myself, and that has been shut down for a while. So having to see somebody who's representing gallery and looking the part, it fucking woke my eyes up and said, what happened to fucking Jesse from high school? What happened to him, like, you know? And he doesn't have to hide anymore, dude, like. And that's when like Jesua Bones came to the rescue and was like, bitch, let's do this. Like, it's just so crazy, like how things happen. And honestly, I can say like we met for a fucking reason. It's the reason why I'm doing this video right here. It's the reason why all this like puzzles come to pieces. Life works in very mysterious ways when you strongly start believing in yourself. When you truly start believing in yourself without anybody's permission, that's when there's like a road already made for you and the people that you're meeting for a fucking reason. And it's just beautiful. Belle definitely is the key to a lot of things. Our relationship, after like just growing with one another, I learned to just appreciate her even more. That's all I can say. Because there's nobody like her that I've ever met in my entire waking life. I never met a woman so strong in her like spirituality, so in tuned. It actually encouraged me to be more spiritual, in sync with my art. And that's the beauty of like my friendship with her. It definitely brought me into a light.
Did you ever host any events before Heart of Art, and how that journey was?
I've never hosted a show before the Heart of Art Gallery. Never in my life. If anything, that was a bunch of just like the energy that I've been like, that has like helped the energy I was around right before I started hosting was nurturing me. Like meaning Kenya and Mystery, that energy and that energy like nurtured the shit out of me. It nurtured me and like it made me whole to the point where I felt like I can do anything. Anything was possible. And now it's like an addiction. Like, I kind of like being on stage now, and like, I'm just like, damn, what did you girls do to me? Like, I'm all like, y'all got me fucked up. Like, I'm just like wanting to like do more shows, which is not a bad thing, because, you know, it's important for people to spark in that light and see that light within themselves and start doing it, you know? It's important for people to see that it's not about shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shit happens because you really, anything's possible, honestly. And after hosting shows, it's just become so natural. And I feel like when you're hosting a show, there should be of some importance that you're spreading. But that's just me, though. Everybody hosts differently. But the Heart of Art Gallery, what we're standing for, I think because of what we were standing for, really pushed me even more to be a host. Because it's a message of art as well, which is very important. There's a lot of artists that are shut down, and it's just like, dude, like, no. We need to teach them to be their own, like, candlelight, you know? Because on some real shit, like, nobody's always going to be there for you, you know? You have to also, like, ignite the flame yourself when you're away from these people. And I love that Mystery taught me that, because we taught each other a lot. And that was one of the biggest encouragements that we told each other, that it's like, you have to, like, in that dark place that we go into, we have to just light up our own candle and be like, everything's gonna be okay, you know? Everything's gonna be okay. We just have to keep believing. Sometimes a lot of darkness hits everybody. Everybody's alone. Everybody's fucking lonely once in a while. That's not a bad thing. If anything, take it as a good thing. Take it as a time of reflection. Take it as a time of what your soul needs. It's what your soul needs. It needs alone time from people sometimes. It doesn't matter how long you take. And as long as you're doing it for yourself, as well as the community that's healthy, like, it works out, and it's beautiful. So hosting has become even more than hosting now, you know. Now that it comes more natural, I'm saying, well, what can I spread the message about now? What can I say, you know? And obviously it's gonna depend on what settings you're into, you know. Like, if I'm in, if I'm in this specific movement, obviously we want to spread love and all this. So it's definitely allowed me to adapt to different situations and taught me a lot about that.